if you're looking to start your business for the first time, you've never done this before, I would find something that you really, really are passionate about. Now, it doesn't have to be, okay, I'm passionate about tennis, so I'm going to start a business around tennis. You can be passionate about what your business can do for you. You can be driven by all kinds of things, but there's got to be something driving you, because being in business and having your own business is very difficult. It's really hard. But I compare it to parenthood in that it's the toughest job you'll ever love, because parenting is very hard, but business is also very hard. And so you've really got to have that love for what you're doing to get you through. I think the other thing that you have to do is you have to be flexible. People fall in love with their product or their service, and then they pursue it, and they're almost pushing it into the market. But the businesses that work the best are actually people who are willing to be flexible to adapt to what the market really wants and needs. Because bottom line success is finding a need in the market that, especially if it's a pain, something that somebody is causing somebody pain or a lot of extra work or a lot of extra money, and then it's causing them so much pain that they're willing to pay to have that pain relieved. And sometimes people overestimate the consumer's willingness to change. An example would be the Coke C2. When they went out with Coke C2, they did a lot of focus groups, and people said, oh, yeah, it was a low-carb Coca-Cola product. And they said, yeah, I'd buy that. Yeah, I'd buy that. But when it came down to it, people didn't buy it. It came out, and it was a flop. And that's because people will say they'll do something, but it wasn't bad enough that they're willing to either pay extra or try a new product. People just don't like change very much. So I think that's something else. You've got to really find that thing that customers want and have them pull it rather than you pushing it out there. So being flexible is really critical. I actually have I call it focused flexibility, and it sounds like a contradiction, but it's like when you're skiing down a hill and you got to focus ahead so you don't hit anything, but you can't lose your peripheral vision, so that something's not coming out of the side and is going to knock you off course or run into you or throw you off the mountain. In business, it's the same way. It's your peripheral vision. It's watching out for what's going on in the marketplace so that as you're going ahead, you're not missing what the market's really trying to tell you. And this happened to me in my business. We developed this warehouse management system, and we developed a business plan around it, and then we developed it, and that took us about a year. Well, when we raised our head again a year later, the market had completely changed. Where there before had only been, I think 58% of the market was other, which is all these small companies. Well, a year later now, there were two big companies that had emerged and started gobbling up all the little companies. And so it was starting to consolidate and commoditize. So, your marketing strategy of, okay, let's go be one of these small guys in this market didn't work anymore, because now it was becoming a commodity. They wanted to know how many thousands of clients you had, and that's a really tough place to enter without finding a specific niche. So really being able to not fall in love with your product for the product's sake. I mean, you have to love it, but you got to listen to your customers and take it the way they want it. The third thing that you need if you're going to start a new business is realizing that it's going to probably take a while to make some money. So you need to have some money saved up. Or the ideal is that you're coming out of college, you're used to eating ramen noodles, so just keep doing that and keep cutting back on your expenses, because it does take a lot more time and money to start up a business usually than you think it does. And people think, oh, I'll go out and get VC funded. Well, less than 5% of businesses actually get VC funding, and it's really not for every type of company. And you may not want VC funding. It depends on the type of business that you have. So I would say really make sure that you've got good money saved up, or you're moonlighting, so you've got some way to bring in products or bring in money. And if you've got a product that you're trying to develop, maybe think about putting some services around that so that you can start making money to fund your product development. Or do what I did and find a customer that's willing to pay you, even if they don't pay you your full rate, pay you something to develop the product so that you've got money coming in. Because that's usually people really underestimate the amount of money that it takes to get a business off the ground.